Well, good evening and welcome to a special Honest Sports Talk. I'm joined by Ajani Burchall and his mother and father. First of all, welcome back. Glad to be in this type of cold as opposed to the cold you've all been in the last few weeks over in the UK. But we want to say, first of all, Ajani, congratulations. But the journey has kind of a new part of the new chapter of the journey has just begun. Looking back at, we know where you've been this month in December, but let's start back when you had the opportunity to go abroad and try to make an impression as a youngster. What was those days like for you?
Well, at first I moved over to school, and then I'd heard club was interested in me, so that was my first look to try and get into AFC Bournemouth, and then from there I was just working hard, trying to be the best on the team.
Yeah, for the parents, obviously, you're looking. First of all, you want to put him in an environment that you think he'll excel in, and the UK was one of those places where they also they're known for developing footballers as well. But Johnny goes over there already with impressive skill. He just had to get on the ground and understand the logistics of playing in the UK. As parents, at such a young age, what was the discussion around the table about making this a reality of putting him in an environment where he could possibly have this now opportunity?
Well, as Johnny had just mentioned, we had moved to the UK, not just for schooling purposes, but with the hope that he would have the opportunity to develop his skills as a footballer. So basically, Earl, we had just taken a leap of faith, and just said, look, let's see where this journey takes us,
Mm.
And if opportunity like these, and when you hear of someone such as, at the time Bournemouth was a Premier League team, even if it was a champion, it didn't matter at the time. We just was hoping that Johnny would be noticed, and given a chance. And once he was given that chance, I just told him, just go ahead, and try your best, and just work hard. And as I said earlier, just see where it takes you.
Yeah.
And
Johnny, when you got into school, what was the tempo like in the football side? Were you used to the pace, or was it something that took you a little while to get used to?
It wasn't that bad, but I was trying to get used to it as the months go on. But around Christmas time, I got used to it, and I think physically I was one of the better players on my team. But I just had to get used to the ball speed and everything.
Right. Did you struggle with it off the field at times? Like, I don't know if I could manage this, or were you comfortable with the development as you was going on?
No, it was just all about confidence. I was confident in my ability to catch on with everyone else, and then that was it.
Yeah. Did you fit right in, or was it like, okay, now I have to adjust my game a little bit to suit this style that the coach wants to play? And remember, you're still a young boy.
Actually, in my first season, I done very well. I thought I adapted to the situation well. It was just at certain times that I need to play quicker or do this quicker. Yeah.
Yeah. And how fast do you adjust to those things? Because obviously it's new to you. I mean, if you're a standout in Bermuda, after a while you kind of get bored of being, I could beat this guy. I know I could beat this guy. I know I could score at any time. Now you have to switch because things come a little harder.
I think the earlier you go away and get used to it, the easier it will become longer down the road.
Yeah. And Shannon, you was talking about a leap of faith. Obviously, you see his ability. You speak with people on the ground here in Bermuda, and also, I guess you get an opportunity to see what the players in front of him have been able to do But that leap of faith, did you see it panning out in a short 9-year period?
Uh, no, Mike, I didn't. Um,
Right.
what?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't. I I didn't actually see things developing as quick as they did. Um, we we saw a Johnny at a young age, in Bermuda being one of the outstanding players, throughout his career. Even in the PB division here in Bermuda, I made note to some friends of mine way back then, on the odd occasion used to see a Johnny actually directing teammates at, this is a 5-year old directing guys where they should be on the pitch, and at that time, you just sense that this boy had a little something special, a little something different, about him. And, over time, working with so many different people that's helped him along the way. And then him just doing stuff on his own outside of regular training. And yeah, no, I did not see things happening so fast.
Mom, what type of conversations did you have? Because obviously he's still your little boy. You still have this. You look at him, people will say now he's playing with men, but he's still your little boy. What are some of the conversations you had early on to kind of give him that inspiration that yeah, you believe in your talent and we'll be here to support you?
Well, Johnny was always well, back in the early days. He was a little guy. He was a little short little guy like myself, and he was always advanced and always playing upper age group. And I always was wary of him playing in the upper age groups because of the physical contact. And little boy used to take a lot of little hits, and mama gets worried about stuff like that. But we spent lots of money on physiotherapists and keeping him tuned up, I would say, in physio, and making sure things are aligned and stuff like that, because of the fact that football is very physical. And we wanted to make sure that he has a long life in it. So
Mhm.
that was always my concern, is the physicalities.
Yeah, Johnny, as you're getting older into the Bournemouth setup, obviously the opponents and your teammates are a lot bigger. How do you adjust to that? Because as you say, you're still a small guy.
Yeah, I adapt to it. You have to think mentally and like you have to play quicker so you don't get kicked. And also, I just have to work hard at home, and then get my strength up so I can adapt to it when I grow older.
Yeah. When they were inviting you to play up in age in the Bournemouth setup, what was the conversation that the coaches had with you to try and encourage you to want to do this?
They were saying like they were encouraging me to try my best and that I could get in the team and try and be the best in one of the under 18 teams.
Yeah. Well, in the under 18s, you guys start off the season back in November with a big win. Did you think the season was going to be easy?
Not really, not according to me because I'm one of the younger ones, so I thought it was always gonna be harder for me because I'm playing against older boys. But then, yeah, I think my team's adapting to the season well, getting victories.
Yeah, obviously it's not always a one-way street like the first game, but looking at it as a team and under the 18s, how, how, how is the team gelling? Because now you've had an opportunity, you and others have had the opportunity to play in the first team, but how is that under 18 team gelling, knowing that there's opportunities such as the one you got?
Well, I think they'll be motivated to do what I done as well because if I could do it at a younger age, they should be able to do it as well.
Yeah. Now, Your team, the first team, had a bunch of injuries, had all sorts of things, and the coaches are keeping an eye on what you're doing, and here you are presented this opportunity. Dad, let me ask you this question: did you speak the night before after finding out that he was in the first team?
Yeah, I slept all right. I was a bit anxious, excited, full of excitement. But I had been speaking to a Johnny about if opportunity, I basically told a Johnny the opportunity may come along. You just have to keep in your mind you're turning 16, so it's unlikely. I used to tell him it's unlikely, but it's very possible that you could get called into the first team at 16. So, I actually bought a piece of equipment for our flat back in the UK. It's just a little station where he could do pull-ups and dips and leg raises and stuff like that, and push-ups to help build himself up. Stuff like I have agility bands, for him to just do slight things at home. But I never burdened him with a lot of pressure to actually do all these things too often, because he has school, is still a young boy, and still got plenty of time to develop. But one of the most amazing things is that Johnny is doing as well as he is without doing the full-time training as the rest of his U18 teammates. He's the only one in the group playing regularly in the U18s that is still in school, where everyone else is either a first year or second year scholar. So I find it amazing that he's become one of the main players as he is.
One of the most important things is also with a young man playing up in age is nutrition. How disciplined have you been with him? I know he gets it at the club. He'll get it at the club, but at home as well. How disciplined is it that you keep him on the straight and narrow?
Well, basically, if I don't put certain things in the house, he's not going to be able to eat it.
Right.
So that's basically as good as the discipline can get. I don't buy a lot of chicken like with skin on. On the odd occasion I may buy it for a Sunday dinner or something like that, and have big chicken on a Sunday. Often it's a lot of stuff like chicken breasts, a lot of vegetables, green vegetables. I would also Johnny likes pancakes, stuff like that. But his pancakes would be, say, like I would make his pancakes out of porridge. I would grind the porridge down to almost like it's flour, and do pancakes with protein in it. Stuff like it's just basically protein, porridge, egg, and like almond milk. And there you go. So he's got a nice healthy, breakfast before matches or even through the week. So Johnny does have sodas and stuff like that, but it's not too often that I would put stuff like that in the house, and we'd have pizza after, Saturday nights after his game as a recovery food. But like you said, on the most part, I would tell any kid or any parent, that diet is very important for these boys as athletes, elite athletes, in order to perform. And plenty of water, plenty of rest. But I do allow Johnny some leeway and allow him to cheat from time to time. For the most part, we've been pretty good.
Yeah.
As you can see, Dad is still somewhat slim. Have a little pot belly from the beers. Saturdays watching the match day lives and stuff like that. But
right.
other than that, we've been doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I just like to interject on it. Shannon does a fabulous job when it comes to nutrition. Well,
Mhm.
pretty much all areas. But since we're touching on nutrition, he goes out and beyond to see that Johnny has a nutritious diet from making natural fruit juices. He makes natural pasta sauces. He does. He took it off my tongue. He makes Johnny oatmeal cookies, chocolate chip cookies. The salads out of this world. And it goes on and on. Everything's timed, and he just does a fabulous job. He does a better job in the kitchen than I do. So I've turned those reins totally over to him because I'm still in Bermuda, and when I go to the UK to visit, naturally I disrupt all of that because Johnny and I go for a stroll, and if we're going for a stroll, it doesn't mean it's a nutritious stroll. I'm the one that overtrades and gets Johnny the extra sweets and stuff like that. But
So,
he knows. Yeah.
so Shannon, you gotta give the lecture to the mother before anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but like she said, like Johnny is still young, and
Hmm.
he's got many years ahead of him to really knuckle down and be that much more disciplined. But I feel that I've had to allow a Johnny to still be a child,
Mm.
he'll be the young boy that he was, and still enjoy certain things as most young teenagers would. So yeah.
So Johnny, let's talk a little bit about school. How are you adjusting to school and also then having to make way for training and still get homework and stuff like that done?
Yeah, I feel it's difficult because I have school straight in the morning. Then after school, I have a little bit of time. I'll probably eat before I go to training. So sometimes my school has like some extra curriculum, so I could just go after school sometimes at lunch and do some work. So I feel myself free myself some time to go training.
So you're quite busy, so you don't have much time to act like or go and play kind of thing.
No, no time with that.
Yeah. When you are focused in on schoolwork, are you 100% on school and then you worry about football, or are you one of those what I have to do after school? What do I have to, what's the training going to be like? Or are you fully concentrated on school?
To be honest, I'm 50-50, but I need to concentrate on my skill more.
Yeah, I'm glad you're being honest. Because there's two people besides you that wanted to hear what you had to say to that. So.
That was a good answer. I'm satisfied with that.
But I already know,
No, he wanted the true answer. See,
yeah.
well, Johnny, you're playing in the under 18s, you're looking comfortable in the positions in which you're playing, but with the setup that they have at Bournemouth, are you feeling that much more confident in the style that they play? Because everywhere it plays somewhere certain type of different style of football. But are you comfortable with what they're playing, and do they play that through the entire program, right up to the seniors?
Yeah, they start the type of football from the first team all the way down to under sevens, under eights. But I think it's good for me because I play winger, of course, and they like to play wide a lot and do a lot of wide combinations. So I get the ball quite a lot.
Mm. Now that magical night in which you came on December 12th, you pick up the ball, you start running it towards goal, and you're kind of brought down from behind. What goes through your mind? Because I know you've watched that over and over, or have you watched it over and over? What were you thinking? I could have a shot from here, or were you thinking, let me get a little closer?
My first thought is when I get the ball to run forward, and in the corner of my eyes, I can see and hear the guy coming behind me, and I know since it's a man's game, it's gonna catch me up. So I just try and really fall because if I try to go further, it's gonna catch me up and maybe tackle me.
Yeah. And it must have seemed like forever being on the field because it was what 8 or 9 minutes of stoppage time. So that you didn't want that night to end, didn't you?
Nah, I was excited.
And let me get the reaction, Mom. How did you feel when you saw him go on the field?
Oh, I was just all over the place. I was nervous. I was like I couldn't eat that day. I must when he came on, I said to my niece, "Oh my God, he's coming on," because I wasn't expecting him to come on,
Mhm.
and so I was totally surprised, totally in awe. But at the end, I felt he gave a good shot, and he got some touches off the ball, drew 2 fouls, got a nice little slice in on the side. So I thought he did all right for his debut.
Yeah, they had been at the game when he got up to warm up. What was your thought?
Well, he actually was up warming up a few times as
Right.
the subs tend to do.
Hmm.
But I had actually mentioned to Ajani the night before. I was like, Ajani, um, if the team is up, say maybe 3-0 late in the game, and it's 5 subs, I was putting in his head that it's 5 subs in that division, and if they're up 3-0, maybe the opportunity will present itself for you to come on. And I was telling him, I said, I don't even care if you're on for 5 seconds. That's gonna. I said that's possible history for yourself, and it will look good on your CV, even if it's 5 seconds that you actually was part of the match.
Hmm.
But on that night, when I saw the coach Tyndall actually ask Johnny himself to go warm up, I was like, oh wow, he's definitely coming on. Being it's 5-0 with just a few minutes left of regulation time on the clock, and I was just so excited, texting everyone back home. Okay, the coach asked him to warm up, so I was just busy sending messages to everyone. And then I saw him stripped on. I was like, okay, the coach asked me to strip on, so it's definitely coming on. Yeah, so I was just bubbling with excitement, and just so very, very proud, very proud moment, like actually when Johnny came on the pitch, I was just like, smile. I don't even think anybody saw my face. It smile was right around my head.
Of course, proud papa.
Yeah.
Johnny, it was a big buzz around the club after that match, being that you were the third youngest person to turn out for the club. How has it been since then at the club?
Getting a lot of congratulations and everything. A lot of the younger players look up to me when I go train with the under 16s because at the under 16 training, the under 13s, 14s, and 15 train as well. So when I walk in, all of them looking at me, watch me train, it's, it's quite nice.
Yeah. How do you stay grounded? Because obviously you got this start. You were on the bench the other night. Unfortunately, didn't come on. And still a half a season to go, so it's still a lot of football. That the possibility of you getting back into the first team is there. But how do you stay grounded?
I just keep working hard in training because I know every single session is film. So the first team manager is always watching, the 18th manager is always watching. So I think if I can make it in the first team once I come on, I could do it more often.
Yeah, and of course you're here into the new year. The senior team's Boxing Day match is off with Millwall players contracting the coronavirus, so no football for them on Boxing Day. But they still have a busy schedule, and then you have that time off. But your under 18s will be busy in the new year as well. So how do you plan to be ready once you hit the ground back in the UK? To jump right back into things. So what do you do? What will you be doing in Bermuda?
Yeah, I have my own off-season program that the club has sent to me, so I'll be doing that. I still have rest days, but I'll probably be doing more days of my own workouts, and I'm just preparing for the under 18 matches as for now because I'm not sure if I'm going to be called up for the first team or not.
Right. Now, obviously, when does school resume?
Thursday
January
the
7th.
7th.
I bet you if I asked him when does football start again, he could tell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What day is the first game back for the under 18s?
The 13th.
Here we go.
Yep.
But being that you're back, obviously you have these restrictions and of course you know you get your tests done and all that. But how has family been for you guys throughout this whole ordeal? I mean, you left here when you know when he was 11, and now you're on this journey. But how has family been around and supported throughout this journey thus far?
At first it was quite easy because I was coming back every Christmas and summer. But now since we're getting older, more professionalism, I can't come back as much. So it's kind of difficult. But this year was the most difficult. But we're still having like Zoom calls and calling each other almost every week.
Mm.
Yeah.
And of course, as parents, I heard you say earlier, Shani, that he's still young. So do you still see some playfulness in him at times?
Yeah, I do. I do. You know, his lot of noise in his bedroom. You know, with his friends. You know, he might as well put the headset on from the PS4 and just talk to him live. That's how loud they are. You know, in
We're
communication.
all in the same boat, brother. We're all in the same boat.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I do. You know, but you know, I also see that how mature he's become. You know, and it's pretty pleasing to see. You know, I've heard people mention that from his first interview after his youth the FA Youth
18.
Cup, which was televised.
Right.
It was very first live interview, and I've heard so many people say, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe that's a Johnny. He sounds so mature. He's growing up." So yeah, mom. The only time I really see it is during his PlayStation stints, and that's only on weekends. Like he may play PlayStation maybe a Friday evening, a Saturday, and Sundays, but 30 weeks it's absolutely no PlayStation for him. It's between school and training with the club.
Yeah. Johnny, do you ever get at times overwhelmed with obviously balancing school and football? And if you do, what are some of the things you do to get away from it, just even if it's just a mental break?
I just calmly deal with it because I don't stress about my training or my schoolwork at the same time. I just take turns and then do whatever was best for me.
Mm, mm. What advice? Let me ask. I'm going to ask both parents to if someone's in the position that you're in back when you made the decision to go, what would you tell a parent right now that is considering making a move to give their youngster, no matter what sport it is, give their youngster the opportunity to grow in their sport? What would you tell the parent?
Yeah, you take it.
Um, First, Earl, we're used to saying education first, education first, education first. And for me, it is first. But with going to the UK and him given the opportunity, it's been a strike of balance. And it came down to, yes, education was first, and then also feeding into allowing him to live a dream. And I'm always the parent um, pushing on. Have you done this? Have you done that? As a matter of fact, when Shannon called me that Friday evening, when he had got the news, he called me, wanted to get in touch with the school. So immediately I thought, okay, what has this boy done now? Because he was evading why he needed to get in touch with the school. And finally, when he did say John is in the first team, I heard it and didn't hear it.
Right.
So yeah, education. There's plenty of opportunity in the UK for education, and I believe once you get there, Earl, it doesn't even have to be a big club. It's other smaller clubs, non-club programs out there where you can be seen. And I think you have to look at your family dynamics and what you're willing to do and put out there to make it work. You know.
Yeah, I was about to say, Earl, it's as everyone, and it's a big sacrifice, and even bigger sacrifice for some. We're not we've never been a wealthy family or anything. Sold my boat, we sold our car. Um, Margaret is here alone, so her only transportation is by bike, and it's a huge undertaking because we've had payments here in Bermuda, and then the extra expenses that we would have to undertake overseas as well. So it's not real easy, and some people may think that okay, we'll just go over to the UK and do as and try and give my child an opportunity. But first and foremost, I would like to just say that it's definitely not easy. It's not easy at all. While it wasn't easy for us, and like I said, it could be easy for someone else, but it definitely wasn't easy for us. And we are we are glad that we done it, as I said earlier. And it in time it just became. I'm trying to figure out the words that I want to use actually, but in time it just became, but it became an adventure, and I always tell Johnny to let's and Margaret, let's just enjoy this adventure, and just do what we can, and like I said earlier, just see where it takes you. And I always tell anybody that if they could do it, just go ahead and do it, and don't try and look too far down the road about the burden that could be upon you, because if you have that faith, things would eventually work out for you.
Right. Right.
My father always told me, Earl, never put a price on education. And he always said to me, in even his dying days, if anything happens to me, can you make sure that his three grandchildren, including Johnny, have a solid foundation? And so that's always been an important thing in our family. Um, that's where we invest our money in. No cars, no bikes. I mean, no cars, no boats. Johnny, and, and we enjoy the experience.
Right. Right. Johnny, what would you tell, as you are now 16, what would you tell a 10-year-old, 11-year-old that is possibly in the position that you were in back then, now that you've had this experience, although everyone's experience is a little different, but you've had this experience, what would you tell that 10, 11-year-old?
I just tell them have fun, work the hardest, and then do the best, and outcome will happen.
I would also tell them, Earl, is to listen. Listen, and you're laughing, but I'm dead serious.
Oh, I know.
Because I've had experiences, coaching a Johnny and his teammates at Village, and a Johnny and a couple other boys, but a Johnny was like one of the battle listeners. I don't know if it was because I was his parent, but then once he was under the wings of other coaches, not only just at North Village, but he's been under coaches at like Dennis Braun at Brazilian Football School, Darryl Blackendale, Speedy, under Kenny Thompson at Wasback early mornings, coaches at Glasgow Rangers, and they've all said, Pedro Primary, John Barry Newsom, and Timmy Figueredo at Salters. Every single last one of them have all said Johnny was always a good listener. All of them. So, I know it's quite difficult for such young boys at 10 and 11 because, like you said, it's a lot of playfulness in them. But he always seemed to, be the one to want to listen and actually put what information was given to him into place. But being a good listener and being very determined, that would also help these young boys. And like Johnny said, and I've always stressed to him, just enjoy playing the game. Just enjoy what you're doing. Go out there and have fun. Be an entertainer. Because that's what it's about. You're out there entertaining people, and I just tell him all the time, entertain. I still tell him to today. When he's playing, hey, entertain me. So, yeah.
All right.
And Earl, I would just say also with any sport, not even just football, if you have a child that has an age or something special and they're interested in a particular sport, and they're trying to perfect it, like encourage the extras, Shannon was a coach from Pee Wee, so he always had coons and girls, and he has all of that kind of stuff for Johnny when he was here and abroad. He goes out of his way to provide the extra little gadgets, I would call them, but to enhance and do those extras. He takes Johnny to nearby fields, and I remember when I was growing up and always seeing Guda and David Bascom and Elliot. They were always go across Bernard's Park. You always see the boys. So Johnny also, did quite a bit of extras, to perfect his craft. So I would just suggest to any parent, if they have a child, excelling in a sport, keep on top of them and where they can enjoy it,
Okay. Well, I want to thank you all for your time. Season's greetings to you all. Enjoy the holiday as best you can. And Johnny will keep a track on you once you return back for those U18s, and anytime you get into that first team. Do yourself and your family proud. Everything else will fall into place. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, you guys. Enjoy your evening. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Earl.
Right.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Okay.
All
Bye
right.
bye.